Okay, so I'm going to import a file that typically comes in oversized, especially these days, because of the fact that so much of the graphics that are created are, they're very high resolution, and they're also designed to print, like at poster size, or at least, it's something larger than what you'd be using for a sticker. So yes, you can see this one comes in, it's very large. So I'm just going to size it down, and I usually use like around 4 to 6 inches. It kind of varies, but you don't want to make it too small because you're going to be retracing this. And if it's too small, then you don't get a good trace. But on the other hand, if it's way too large, then you get way too many notes. Now, note that if I had saved the file while it was still really large, and now I save it again, those two file sizes are going to be the same. You can't reduce the file size by just simply resizing here in the window. You have to go back and create a new image that's based on what you can get in the trace window. So on the layers panel, I'm going to pop this out. Right here, I'm going to open up this grouping because you get this group anytime you use file import on a PNG file. And I'm going to delete this cut line because I'm not going to be using it. I'm going to be creating a new version. So then I select the print and I go to the trace window. And then in this window, I can see, my image here. And what I want to do is I always recommend making this window as large as you can so that you can really see things and make sure you don't miss anything. So you can just, move it up and then drag it to make it larger. The other thing I recommend is the show source image. Scroll this. If you scroll all the way to the right, you see your original image clearly, but really you're interested in the cut line. So when I scroll over to the left, everything that's a red line indicates something it would cut. And of course, this is not what I want for my sticker. So the first thing you can do, since stickers typically you don't have any internal cuts, you can just mark black out and update preview, and then you can see what you have. And when I do that, then I can see this is exactly what I want. I don't have any internal lines. If you did see internal lines, then up here, make sure you're still in monochrome mode, and then increase this contrast until, and then, increase it like maybe 10 or 15 at a time. Don't go up one at a time because that'll take forever. Just kind of scroll it up and click on update preview again, and then see if you're getting just your single outline that you want. Now, if you're on, next thing, very important, don't forget to do this. It's very important to click on add image layer because the idea is you want to create a new image that's actually going to be smaller in size, and then you'll be able to more easily, duplicate your image without a lot of lagging, and then also your overall file size will be smaller. So once you've done that, and then you have this option here, you can go ahead if you want to have an outset line around your sticker, like a contour cut, then you can do it here, and I recommend using shadow rounded. Now this is only in SCAL 6. Let's say you're using an earlier version, well then that wouldn't be an option, and that's fine. I'll show you the alternative to that. So with this looking good, I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. All right, and then at this point now, then very important. This is another thing really important. Beside the add image layer, come back and select your original and delete it. Because if you don't delete that, you're still going to have an oversized file size. Now then you have the one that's going to be smaller. And you can't see the difference. That's the nice thing about, since we're making everything smaller, you don't have to worry so much about the quality of the image changing. It's not going to be noticeable from all the experience I've had. So then over here, when you open up your folder here, you see your print layer and your cut layer. Now then, let's say that, again, if you don't have SCAL 6, you're going to do your offset here, then you can select, actually I recommend you hide the print layer and just do it based on the cut layer. So then select the cut layer, come over to Effects, Shadow Layer. Okay, now in this window, typically for stickers, you want rounded shadow. You don't want really sharp points, so you select rounded. Come down, click on blackout if you want to or not. Blackout just means there won't be any internal cut lines. There won't be on this one anyhow, but just in case, I typically just kind of out of habit always mark that option. And then on print plus cut outline, because this is going to be a print plus cut project. And when you use print plus cut outline, that means it's going to do two things. One is it's going to give you an outline that doesn't have a fill color, right? You won't see this dark gray. It'll just be empty. You'll only have an outline. And the other thing it does is that if you're cutting from your cuts a lot to your cutter, which is what I always do because based on the cutters I buy, what it does, it changes the original cut layer. It's going to change it from being a cut layer to being a print layer only. And then since it's not going to have a shadow layer anymore, basically nothing's going to print, okay? It's not going to cut either. What it's going to do then is the new outline it creates will be set to print plus cut only. All right. And so then for the size, it's just whatever you want to use. Over here, you can see it. If you don't like having the gray, you can change it, to a different color to just be able to, better see it, or, whatever. You can make it white, but if you're going to make it white, you're not going to be able to see it against this white background. But you could have made your page color a different color also. That's always an option. So whatever you want to do, make that change and then click on OK. And so now then we have, and I'm going to show you on the style panel, that the original cut line has been set to print plus cut. Print is a print only, right? And of course you've got your print layer, which is set to print. And then this shadow layer, you just want to drag this up and into this folder. All right. And then this cut layer also, you can just delete it. You don't need it anymore, because now then you've got your shadow layer, which is your cut layer. Now then, once you have that, now then you can come down and resize it to whatever you want your sticker size to be. So let's say I want to make it, I don't know, let's say I want to make it 2 inches tall. All right. So then I come over, and then when I do my duplicates, I'm going to be able to create them much faster and also not have that lagging. So anyway, that's basically the process. And if you have any questions, let me know.